baseball is going to happen from time to time. But like I said, just trying to be as perfect as I can in terms of where I place the ball.
Adonis Guzman joining us, catcher for your Arizona Wildcats. You guys have been playing right now without Brendan Summerhill in the lineup. How is that from the standpoint of the offense? How have you guys tried to pick up his
hmm
absence is right there in the lineup?
Yeah, he's a big bat. As everybody knows, he's one of our best players, exciting players. He can do a lot on the field. So it's hard to replace that, but we have full confidence in our locker room and everybody in there to be able to step up and not technically fill his shoes and do what he does, but do their own thing and be able to produce runs for us and create wins for us. So it was tough at first, for sure. Losing a play like that, but like I said, we have full confidence in everybody in there, and we never second guess or question anybody's ability to go out there and perform. So we just next man up it.
I know Chip said last week that you'll probably do the majority of the catching. He wants to keep you in the lineup. How have you tried to make sure that your stamina is right being out there every night?
Just doing the little things, weight room, taking that very serious on a day-to-day basis, stretching and doing the small things that may get overlooked and everybody knows you need to do, but just actually sitting down and doing them and taking care of business on that side, making sure my arm feels good, my body feels good, my legs especially, ankles. So yeah, just doing all those small things that will help me stay on the field every day.
You mentioned that your dad had a pizza place. Does he
hmm
still have the pizza place?
Unfortunately, no. He
No?
sold it after about 4 or 5 years of having it, but it was great. It
All right,
was
so what
great.
was your favorite pizza that the shop made growing up?
Well, I can never go wrong with a cheese slice, but I also like the margarita slice they had.
Margarita slice. Well,
Yeah.
tell me about. I've never heard of margarita slice
Yeah,
before.
I don't even know what goes on it, but yeah, it was great. And I get a kiwi Snapple, the pink ones, and yeah, that'd be my dinner almost every night. So it was great. Mhm.
Kiwi Snapple.
Mhm.
Outstanding. What are some of the things that you like to do away from baseball?
There's not much. Uh, yeah, maybe play some video games with friends, hang out with friends here and there whenever we have the time. But I mean, baseball takes up a majority of our time and our life, and it's what I signed up for. So I'm grateful for it and I love it. But yeah, I don't really do much off the field.
All
Mm-mm.
right. So what do you think of this year's Yankee squad?
It's gonna be tough. We lost a big piece, but I mean,
Yeah, Soto.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're the Yankees, so they're gonna have to find a way to win, and everybody expects them to win. So I'm sure they'll figure out a way to do it.
What do you see when you look at a guy like Aaron Judge?
How?
How?
How? How does he do it? Um, yeah, it's just incredible. He's 6'7", 280 or whatever. Hits home runs, doesn't strike out.
Mm.
Has a great knowledge of the zone and what he wants to hit and wants to do. So he's super consistent as well. Um, so yeah, it's admiring and inspiring for sure. But wondering how to get to that level one
All
day.
right. Outside of Jorge Posada, who are some of the other catchers currently that you like to watch?
Currently, William Contreras from the Brewers. I
Mm.
like him a lot.
Yeah.
My favorite, like besides Yankee, was Yadier Molina. But right now, probably William Contreras is my top one. I like how he has a great bat, strong arm. He's a leader out there. Yeah, it's probably my favorite one right now, William Contreras.
Adonis Guzman joining us, Arizona Wildcats catcher for this year's team. Did you play any summer ball last year?
Yes, sir, on the Cape Cod.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Cape Cod. What was that like?
It was a little bit of a struggle. I went there my freshman year as well and had a little bit more success, but it was a little hard. I don't know to this day why, but I'm glad it did happen, and I've grown from it tremendously. But it was a little bit of a struggle.
What was your was it you said this was your second summer there?
hmm
What's the setup like? Is it like what we hear about, what we see about in the movies? You stay with
Yes.
host families and all that
hmm
kind of thing?
Yeah, stay with host families. I still have great connection with my host family to this day. They were actually out here a couple weeks ago for a weekend
Oh, that's
watching.
awesome.
Yeah, watching our Cincinnati opening weekend. But yeah, it's great. Great people, great players, great fields, great scenery and things to do off the field. But it is hard. You have the best of the best in one place, playing every day after a long season, and yeah, you have to be ready for it for sure.
What's the toughest pitch for you to hit?
Ooh, um, in my head, I like to say none. I mean, but the toughest one. probably right now has been a righty changeup, which you don't see too often. But a guy who's able to locate that pitch very well is tough to hit for sure.
All right, outstanding. Adonis continued success with this season. Oklahoma State, big series this weekend. Looking forward to seeing the Wildcats as you guys make a run for the Big 12 title.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Adonis Guzman from the Bronx, New York, your catcher for the Arizona Wildcats. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Ajo and La Cholla and Ajo with a collision reported and some slowing for traffic on Ajo Way at Mission Road. And road work, widening work, Grant Road, east of Country Club to east of Columbus. Expect heavy slowdowns. A red flag warning tomorrow, 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. 98 tomorrow, 92 on Sunday, 100 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Springfest at Lowe's means can't miss savings for your home and lawn. Right now, buy 3 bags, get 3 free on Miracle Grow 0.75 cubic feet all-purpose garden soil. Valid through 4/16. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare, and I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare or you'll pay nothing. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-253-5151. That's 800-253-5151. 800-253-5151.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
Smart solutions to eliminate bugs, bees, and weeds this spring.
Science nerds, choose Essential.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/sports. Ethos.com/sports.
Sample Rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
My best friend died suddenly, and now his wife and kids have to move out of their house. I had no idea he didn't have life insurance. If I could go back, I'd tell him how easy and affordable protecting your family can be with SelectQuote. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent found me a $500,000 life insurance policy for only $18 a month. They compare many of the nation's most highly rated insurance carriers to find the right coverage and price for your needs. In the last 40 years, they've helped more than 2 million families secure over $700 billion in coverage. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. Don't wait until it's too late. Get peace of mind that your loved ones are protected with life insurance.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-480-5454 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-480-5454. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-480-5454.
Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Don't miss out on any of the action.
7-7 bottom of the ninth. Wildcats would love to end it right here.
As the University of Arizona takes on the Big 12 Conference.
2-2, and it's lined to left for a base hit. Bryfogel's going to be waved around third. Here comes the throw from Hartman. It's headed home. He slides. He's safe, and the Wildcats have won it. Mikalakis, RBI single.
You're listening to the flagship home of Arizona Wildcats Athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wildcat fans, Taco Bell is a proud partner of Arizona Athletics and is ready to serve you. We're open for breakfast. Fire up your mornings with breakfast at Taco Bell. You've heard about Happy Hour? Well, try Happier Hour at your local Taco Bell for $1 beverages. From 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., choose any regular freezes or medium drink for $1. It's the happiest time of the day. Taco Bell is locally owned and operated and is looking forward to serving Wildcat fans. Stay safe, bear down, and live Mas.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
This is Bill Ryder, the Sports Minute, sponsored by NHTSA. Put the phone away or pay. The NBA pre-playoffs, the last week and the next few days of the regular season, have been nothing short of extraordinary, at least in the Western Conference. The stakes for teams like the Grizzlies, the Timberwolves, and the Warriors, all who are flirting with the possibility of the play-in, are real. If you're not paying attention to the NBA Western Conference race, it's time to start. I'm Bill Ryder.
Every day when we're on the road, people around us endanger themselves and others by looking at their phones while driving. There's the sneak-a-peeker who darts their eyes between the road and their texts, or the nightlighter who illuminates their car after dark. If that's you, reconsider before you find yourself becoming the fender bender-er, the got a ticket-er, or worst of all, the driver who killed someone. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Corner Bradley open for three. That's over the rim, no good. And Awaka takes away the rebound and slams it home.
It's a man's game, and Tobe Awaka just cashed in an offensive rebound putback.
And this dude, I'm telling you, he's a badass. And I love him to death. You've never met a bigger gentleman in your life. I mean, he's a 4.0 student. I mean, I think, right?
No, for sure.
Yeah, it's close. But I mean, does everything in his life, anything's associated with his name is done with quality and class. And you might not know that by the way he plays because he's rugged and he kicks ass out there. But this is one of the best human beings I've ever met.
Tobe Awaka made his decision known today. He is coming back to play a second season at the University of Arizona. Started all but one of the Wildcats' 37 games this past year, averaged 20 minutes for the U of A, 8 points, 8 rebounds in those 37 games, showed his tenacity on the offensive boards, a grown man, as you heard Rhino say there. It's a man's game, and he is a man for sure, and that is a great piece. As expected, it was believed that once the departure of Henry Vesar took place to go to North Carolina, that Tobe Awaka would be back with the Arizona Wildcats. That's a pretty good piece, J-Dub, to have back in your lineup.
Yeah, no, I mean, we saw how rugged's the word that Coach used there, DK. That's what the Big 12 is. So having guys in there who are capable of separation and finding their own space inside the key and then pulling down really tough rebounds is so key to win games in this conference because the defense is going to be there. And just I love everything about Tobe Awaka. I mean, came here, had a book club back at his last stop, a really cerebral young man, and then when he goes out there, his hair's on fire and get out of his way because that's how he plays the game. Grown man.
Tommy Lloyd getting his contract extended as well this week into 2030. That's a 5-year extension. He agreed to a 5-year extension just a year ago. And so his base salary will now be right around $4 million, a little over $4 million.
Yeah, 5
for Tommy Lloyd.
The way I understand it is that 5 is the limit that the Board of Regents can give. And so extending after just extending last year might be confusing, but I think it's just to keep that 5-year window open, right?
Right. There you go. Yeah, exactly. 5 years is the most in which the Board of Regents can indeed do those contracts. So good to have him back. And another addition to the roster, it was announced yesterday that Evan Nelson out of South Point Catholic is going to be joining the Wildcats in a backup reserve guard position. I want to say that Kelvin predicted that during. I swear I remember us talking about that.
I know he's
during
definitely
one of
talked.
the post-game shows that we talked about Evan Nelson and the possibility that he could be a candidate potentially to transfer back here because he had obviously come to the end of his senior season at Harvard, and so he had a grad opportunity ahead of him.
That's the thing, DK. I mean, talk about a smart young man. He not only did he get his degree from Harvard, but then he gets to come back home and play in front of some family for that grad year. So, yeah, I mean, definitely guard depth is so important. I don't know exactly what the roster will look like. That's still TBD.
Yeah.
But having a guy who's got a lot of experience at this level certainly can't hurt, DK. And so we'll see. It's again, I don't like to predict what the rotation will look like or even what, the most the contributors on the roster you might pencil in this guy's a 15, 20-point scorer and so forth and so on. You never know. You really never know until the non-conference starts how well people play together. But having a cerebral young man who clearly has the experience under his belt and a hometown guy who knows what the Arizona brand's all about. So great news.
We had Evan in studio. I think he was one of our first studio guests.
We
back
did.
When DKL the Sports Tip started just under 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think he came back to visit during the summer, right? Something like that. So, yeah, he and his family, I think, came in, yeah.
Absolutely. He actually was going I think he missed that particular season due to injury. That was the 23-24 season, and so he came back this past year and started 25 games for the Crimson, averaging 9 points and 3 assists while playing 27 minutes. So played 3 seasons there and graduated. I would imagine, though, since he only played 3 seasons, he might have 2 to play because of the injury. So we'll have to look into that for sure. But just looking at his numbers, he played just 21-22, 22-23, sat out 23-24, and then played 24-25. So he might have 2 years to play here at the University of Arizona. So that would be a really nice pickup for the Wildcats if that is indeed the case, to have him.
He's listed as a senior. I mean, I think the COVID eligibility's run out, right?
Yeah, the COVID, but again, he had an injury year, so he had a red shirt year with he only played 13 games.
Well, that's the thing. I think there's it's like in football, right? There's a limit percentage-wise, but I don't think it works like that in basketball. So if you play any minutes at all, that's considered to be played, unless you appeal.
Right.
Is the way I understand it. So, yeah, I mean, as far as I know, he's listed as a senior, but who knows? Maybe, because since he only played those 13 games in his freshman year, maybe they could get an extra year for him.
All right, so good to hear Evan is going to be headed back here to the O Pueblo. 520-848-1290 if you want to chime in on any of that. Hey, Kelly Presnell, ladies and gentlemen, is in the house. The greatest photographer in the history of Tucson is here to document the goings-on of Arizona baseball. You want to sit down and chat, Kelly? Come sit down here, brother. We'll come down. Kelly Presnell from the Daily Star. I'm glad to see that they keep you around, man. I know they don't always keep folks around. Kelly Presnell, he's got 2 cameras with him. Go ahead and throw that. You got to throw that on there. Yeah, take your hat off. There you go, brother. All right.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Kelly?
Pretty good. How you been?
All right, we're gonna bring that up. Bring that up there.
Up
so
there?
There you go. Now
Okay.
the people can hear you.
Hi.
I'm gonna take this thing off your face for the people that are watching the stream at home. So you're on video as well, Kelly. So did you comb your hair before you got?
I just took my hat off.
Took your hat off. There you go. You just took your hat off. Kelly Presnell, ladies and gentlemen, he shoots everything. He shoots great sports. He shoots great news. How long have you been shooting here in town, Kelly? Now
since '03.
I'm sorry?
'03.
'03. So that would be 2003. So 22 years.
Yeah, or more.
22 years, man. What's been the most fun part of the 22 years you've spent covering news and sports here in Southern Arizona?
Being able to pay my mortgage.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Where do you live? You got a nice house up in the foothills next to me?
No,
or?
no. I'm out in the boonies. I'm in Vail.
Oh, you're out in Vail. All right.
I'm in the poor man's foothills.
No, I've seen they're building some nice houses out there in Vail. Trust me, I'm trying to get out to that 55 and over community they got popping up out there for sure.
Yeah.
Outstanding. So what's this year been like for you? I know you kind of float back and forth between the news and the sports.
It's been busy. We were talking about basketball being over, and so the nights have kind of opened up a little. And
Okay.
it's a big shift to go from, especially with the new Big 12 playing all through the week and the women on and men off. So it hasn't been quite as crazy, I guess, or intensive.
So what are you doing now with those free nights?
Well, this is the first week because I got back from maybe the second week. I got back.
Did you go to New York?
Yeah.
Oh,
Newark.
Nice. Newark.
Well, New
you-
Jersey.
Yeah, exactly.
It's about
Newark. It's suburban New York,
Yeah,
right? It's the suburbs.
Don't tell them that. Those people do not like that.
No, okay, all right. Well,
No.
did you go across the bridge into the city or no?
No, because they lost the first game.
Oh, well,
so I didn't have any
you
real
could-
free
okay,
time.
all
So
right,
but I've never had an assignment in New Jersey. So that
Really?
mark that one off.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about, did you go to Seattle too?
Yeah.
Okay. Had you been up there before?
Oh
or-
yeah. Back when we used to
Washington.
travel. Yeah,
you
Washington
were-
was there.
Like used to travel.
Yeah, used to travel. Yeah.
Back in the days when all these entities had money and when they could send us all on the road.
Yeah.
Which never happens much anymore.
No.
What's your best shot this year? What's your top top thing you shot this year?
I'm not the person to ask
No,
that. No.
you just shoot it. You don't have.
I've heard. I had a guy once tell me he was telling me you'll if you see a photographer, they'll usually never have their own photos up in their house or something.
Right.
It's because I think most people, me, is looking, all they can see is the flaws in it. So I look at my picture and I think, well, that was wrong, or it's too late to, I don't know. I'm not the person to ask.
All right. Do you enjoy shooting the weather though? You really shoot some good weather shots.
Yeah, it's different. It's hard, especially wind, because you can't see it.
Right.
So you go, let's go shoot the wind. I'm like, okay, this will be interesting. But rain, you got something going on. Heat, usually something's happening, or storms or things like that. But wind is baffling.
Are there photographers that you follow that you like to watch their work? Or?
Yeah. There's a couple people around. It's changed, as I gotten older, and there's a lot of photos I look at, and I'm not even sure who takes them because nowadays you look on Instagram. We used to have to hunt to find people's photos, buy a magazine or something, or subscribe to something. So there's a lot of photos I skim through, and I'll find them and I'll see them, and I'm not necessarily following them religiously. But
is there a photo that you took that ended up like in a place you thought maybe, oh wow?
Yes.
Yes.
Rondé Hollis Jefferson.
Okay.
I was in Michigan back when we used to travel, and I shot a photo of Rondé Hollis Jefferson celebrating an An 3, mouth open, fist clenched, like this, and then I don't know, about 3-4 weeks later, I got a phone call from Rick Wiley telling me, "Hey, Rondé Hollis Jefferson is tattooing your photo on his back."
Wow! Yeah. Tattooing your photo on his back.
So if you ever see Rondé Hollis Jefferson with his shirt off, that's a copyright infringement on his back.
Right. Copyright. He doesn't know that, though.
No, I didn't. No. I doubt if he even knew who took it. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, that's kind of.
That's a great story, Kelly.
Thank you. And I had a lot to do with it too.
That's a great story. Wow, I guess you kind of think about, there's photos, and people's photos will go into tattoos, but wow, that's something.
Well, at the Arizona State game a couple weeks ago, I don't know, it's been about 4 weeks now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I looked over, and there's two guys who had a T-shirt on with my photo I had of Bobby Hurley yelling at a referee.
Ah.
So,
Nice.
It happens.
There you go. Outstanding. What are you looking at tonight? What's going to be you focusing anything in particular tonight?
I don't believe so. Nobody has told me anything particular to focus on. But in the middle of the game, somebody will say.
Michael Lev hasn't given you your directions yet?
Yeah.
Come on, Kelly.
Yeah.
What's going on, Michael? Let him know what he's got to be doing out here tonight,
I don't know.
right?
I'll just show up, hold the button down, and see what runs through the lens. That's about all you can do.
There you go.
Yeah.
There
How you
go.
been?
I've been good,
I haven't
Kelly.
seen you in a couple weeks.
Well, yeah, I've been working hard. I got some downtime coming up here in the next couple of weeks.
Good
so
job.
We'll.
I heard you're gonna go. I heard you're looking for a pool. Don't you have a pool of your own?
Not my own.
Oh.
I share it with about 40 other people that live in my complex.
Oh, okay.
But,
So it's not the inflatable kind.
No. It's below ground, and we got a jacuzzi and all that.
Good deal.
But yeah,
Okay.
I'll probably find a pool. I'll probably at my mom's pool. This weekend. She's got.
Is she down here?
Yeah, she lives right down the street here by the mall.
I thought you were from Cleveland.
Yeah, we are, but she's older now. So
She decided to come down here where it was warm.
I had to bring her out here, keep an eye on her.
Okay.
I can't let her be living by herself anymore.
Wow, okay. All right.
Kelly, I
Cool.
appreciate you taking some time. We got the new coach. We got the new women's basketball coach coming up here at the top of the hour.
That's interesting. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you know about that?
Well, I think she did well this past season at Buffalo.
Yeah.
They won the NIT, which she's never been to the NCAA tournament, but we'll see. She seems to be an up and coming coach.
When Adia came in, she was only she
was just an assistant.
Yeah, she didn't have any head
She had
coaching experience. Okay,
never
yeah,
been
that's
a
what I
head
thought.
coach. So at least a little bit more experience there. In that
Well,
respect.
I looked at her. I just quickly looked at her bio, but she seems to put down some pretty good numbers in fairly quick amount of time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's turned around programs at USC Upstate in South Carolina and Charleston and now Buffalo. So
Okay.
we'll see if she can get this outfit back on the right track here.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens.
All right, Kelly, we'll have fun tonight at the game.
Well,
Stay cool.
No, that ain't going to happen.
How far does this particular lens here go?
That's a 300.
Show that up so the people can see that lens real quick here. That's a. It's heavy. There you go.
300 millimeter.
300 millimeters.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, you can get everything right there.
Not quite.
Facial expressions and everything.
Yeah.
Kelly Presnell.
If the referees don't get in the way.
Follow him, Arizona Daily Star. Follow him on Twitter and all of the places that you can see.
Instagram,
his
Blue Sky.
Yeah, you're on all those. At Kelly Presnell. On all of those platforms.
Hi,
all right. Mom. There you go. Say hello to your mother for sure. All right, we're going to get Becky Burke up next. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collision Center reported Mission and 36th Street and Mission. Miracle Mile near Fairview. FEMA to the west of Wilmot. Irvington and Park Avenue, and also Ajo and La Jolla. Crash reported on Mission to the south of Ajo Way. A lot of backups at Ajo and Mission, westbound and southbound. We have a red flag warning tomorrow, 11 a.m. till 8 p.m., 98 tomorrow, 92 on Sunday, and a 100 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Arizona Lottery. When you play the Arizona Lottery, there's always a chance you'll win big, but there's also a guarantee that you'll be giving back to the community. There's joy in it all. Love the play with scratchers, draw games, and more from the Arizona Lottery.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do, with press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
It is over. Cats have won it.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Spring is on its way to southern Arizona, and while we're hoping for a few more weeks of mild weather, we know extreme heat comes next. So right now is the time to get your car or truck road trip ready. And with 14 convenient locations, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the place. Not sure about your car's air conditioner? Need to check out that light on your dashboard? Or make sure your battery can make it through another summer? Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is here to help. With decades of experience here in Arizona and dozens of Top Shop awards for tires and automotive maintenance. And right now, save big on the brands you love, like Michelin, and get big rebates, like $100 back on Cooper tires. Plus, buy 3, get 1 free on Cooper's new Pro Control Series tires. You can stack on even more savings when you pay with your Jack Furrier card. Check out jackfurriers.com for all the promotions and details, and even more money-saving coupons on top of our already low prices. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online, no medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/sports. Ethos.com/sports.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
You wanted to see me, Ron?
Yeah, see that woman sitting there? When did we hire her?
Oh, we didn't hire her. It's Take Your Mom to Work Day.
I've never heard of that.
Saw it on the internet.
Oh boy.
Hey guys, it's neat that Gary has a mom and all, but shouldn't we be talking about Alaska vacations?
That's why I brought Mom in.
I'm sure she's a lovely lady, but she can't promise a 1-year no breakdown guarantee the way Alaskan AC does.
Nope.
And she doesn't promise lower energy bills the way Alaskan AC does.
Nope.
And she doesn't make sure people's air conditioner lasts longer than average, the way Alaskan AC does.
Nope. But she sings.
If you want your AC to last all summer long, with an Alaska vacation, it will always blow strong.
Wow.
Double wow.
Thanks, Mom.
Anything for the president of the company. How long have you two boys worked for Gary?
Gary!
Hey, gotta go. Promise to take Mom to lunch. Bye.
If you want your AC to last all summer long, with an Alaska vacation, it will always blow strong.
Schedule now at alaskanac.com.
It's Arizona baseball tonight at High C.
White hits that one deep to right. That is out of here.
Cats welcome in Oklahoma State to open up a 3-game Big 12 series. Coverage begins at 5:50 with Brian Jeffries right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym. Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get. Could be a lower testosterone.
In the Super Bowl, Wildcats Radio, 1290.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, we're coming to you live from High Corbett Field here, Arizona baseball tonight, taking on Oklahoma State. First game of a 3-game weekend series. First pitch coming up at 6:05. Right now, though, we are going to go over to McHale Center, where we are about to introduce the new women's basketball coach of your Arizona Wildcats, Becky Burke. Athletics Director Desiree Reed-Francois is at the podium. Let's listen in.
Well, we've got a packed house. This is awesome. Thank you all so very much for being here. This is a great day for Arizona athletics, and this is a great day for our women's basketball program. I have a couple of thank yous, so you're going to have to indulge me. But first, I would like to thank Arizona Board of Regents Chair Cecilia Mata for her wisdom and guidance throughout the process. I'd also like to say thank you to our Executive Director of ABOR, Chad Sampson, and our entire Board of Regents. A special thank you to President Suresh Garamella for his leadership and steadfast support of our student athletes, our mission, and our future. This decision reflects the alignment we share in building something extraordinary at the University of Arizona. I also want to thank our search committee who are here today for their time, their integrity, their 4 a.m. phone calls sometimes, and their thoughtful leadership. This was a national search, and we approached it with the care and the rigor it deserved. I'm incredibly grateful to each of the following individuals: our faculty athletic rep, Dr. Ricardo Valerdi, Coach Mike Candrea, Where's Coach Candrea? I know. There he is. There we go. Sam Thomas, who is here today. Where's Sam? There she is. Thank you, Sam. She flew in from Kansas City today, so thank you again for being here and being such an instrumental part. To Kristen Arquilla. I always want to like do the double L's there. Rachel Blunt, Bud Sasser, Morgan Dominic, who was like 9.5 months pregnant. Thank you, Morgan. All of your insights just truly helped guide us with clarity and purpose every step of the way. I also want to express appreciation to the women's basketball community, former coaches, student athletes, and national leaders who offered their wisdom and support throughout the process. I especially want to thank Debbie Yao, Muffet McGraw, Debbie Antonelli, Coach Vicini, and of course, Rocky LaRose. Thank you. Their passion for the game, for this program, helped shape a thoughtful, expedient, and informed search. And of course, I want to thank Adia Barnes for everything she has given to the University of Arizona as a student athlete, as a head coach, and as a community leader. Her legacy will always be a part of Arizona women's basketball, and we're deeply grateful for her impact. Now, when we began this search, we were clear and intentional about the type of leader we were seeking for Arizona women's basketball. We were looking for 5 characteristics: a proven winner with a track record of success and a hunger to compete. We were looking for an elite recruiter who can attract and develop top-tier talent. We were looking for a coach with passion and skill for player development, both on and off the court. All right, we talk about high, low, high. We were looking for a high, low, high leader, someone of high character, low ego, high outcome and energy. Someone who was organized, detailed, disciplined, with a clear and forward-thinking plan. And finally, someone who can thrive in the modern era of college athletics. Someone who is student-athlete focused, adaptable, and prepared to lead in this incredibly transformative time. We met with exceptional candidates across the country. We listened closely, we evaluated thoroughly, and through it all, Coach Becky Burke stood out. You know, one moment that stayed with me was when I asked Becky, why does she coach? She didn't lead with the wins or the accolades. She talked about what women's basketball did for her and how deeply she believes, like in her core, in her DNA, in paying it forward. She spoke about impacting young women, not only as athletes, but as strong, empowered leaders. Her purpose, her passion, and her clarity in that moment was unmistakable. That was when I knew we had the right leader for our esteemed program. Becky is dynamic. She is disciplined. She is driven. She is a proven program builder who knows how to win and how to win the right way. Her energy is contagious. Her vision is bold. Her standards are high. She is a teacher, a strategist, and a connector. She is a leader student athletes can believe in with their full heart and soul. Coach, we are thrilled to welcome you. We're thrilled to welcome Savannah and your whole family. Banks is my new best friend. And your whole staff to the Wildcat community. We cannot wait to stand beside you as we write this next chapter in Arizona women's basketball, and we're fired up to hang banners. So without further ado, bear down, welcome home our next women's basketball coach. Let's give it up.
Hold out just a second. Great. 3, 2, 1. Hold on. One more. Ready? 3, 2, and 1.
Yay. Thank you. I'll trade you. Good evening. Good evening. First and foremost, just
a couple quick thank yous. Thank you to the University at Buffalo, where I spent the last 3 years of my career, and our players, our staff, the administration there, for a transformational 3 years in my career and in my life. I appreciate everybody. I'm so thankful for my time there, and appreciative. To Coach Barnes and her staff, for building such a special thing here, and for contributing to such a rich tradition in women's basketball. I'm always very, very aware of people that have come before me, and very just thankful for the path and the vision and what's led us to today. And just very, very excited to be here. Just thrilled to be here. I mean, the University of Arizona, one of the most rich, historic basketball traditions in the country. Elite leadership and vision for athletics, academic excellence, and in a location that you cannot put a price tag on. And I can say that. I can say that now, coming from snow yesterday, okay? People in my profession, they work their entire life to get a job at this level. But I didn't want a job. I wanted the job. Being the head coach at the University of Arizona is the job. It is my honor. It is my privilege, and I'm humbled, and I'm so blessed for this opportunity. I want to thank our president. I want to thank the board, the entire search committee, who Desiree just hit on, for your time and effort to make this happen. I know it takes a village, and I just thank you guys so much for making this possible. Desiree, from the first 5 minutes we spoke, I knew you were the person I wanted to lead me in my career. And I knew you were who I wanted to work for. I could tell you had a servant's heart and a love for people, but your confidence, your high standards, and your pursuit for greatness is what makes me fired up to be in this building with you and on this campus with you. So thank you for the bottom of my heart for this opportunity, and just trusting me with this program. I also want to thank God, my amazing wife Savannah, my aunts, my uncle, my mom, and my dad. Obviously, our son Banks. He's hopefully napping right now. None of this would be possible without you guys. You guys have been there every step of the way. Savannah, I'm not me without you, and I love you, and I appreciate you so much. From the moment my dad put a basketball in my hands when I was a little girl, I fell in love with this game. This game has done so much for me, and it's given me so much as a player, and it's given me even more as a head coach. And like Desiree hit on, my goal every day is to pay that forward and to pay it back. My goal every day is to impact lives, shape young women in the way that I was impacted, in the way that I was shaped by my coaches. It changed my life forever. And it's my job to make sure that continues with everybody that I get to impact on a daily basis within our program, and within this community. And that's my goal. That's my goal here. That's what I'm trying to do, and what we will do. To the fans, just to get to know me a little bit, and a couple of the very key things that you need to know about me and what you're getting out of your new women's basketball coach. I am in the top 1% of competitive people on the planet, okay? That comes down to winning national championships or eating dinner. It doesn't, I don't turn it off. I don't know anything different. So that's one, you're getting a high level competitor. I'm the same way as a coach as I was as a player. You can go back and watch the film of me on the court. It's going to look very similar to what it looks like on the sideline. Secondly, no one will ever outwork me. I am going to be the hardest worker in the room, every room I walk into, and I take a tremendous amount of pride in that. And no one's ever going to outwork us, because I'm hoping that our team takes a little bit of the personality that I have in terms of just work ethic, right? And then I think the last thing, the key thing that people need to know about me, and what I'm promising you guys that I'm going to bring here, is I have one speed, and that's full speed. I have one speed, that's full speed, and I have one way, and that's all in. We're going to hit this thing, the ground running. We already have full speed and all in. And those are the two things that I am for you guys and for the University of Arizona. So full transparency. Also, just side note, get ready for a lot of passion, a lot of energy, a few chest bumps and flexes on the sideline. But that's who I am and who I hope you guys will learn to love and embrace, within our program. And our staff's bringing that exact same thing. I'm just telling you guys right now, okay? Our team's going to be gritty, tough, hard-nosed, and disciplined. And I want that to be something that you pick up on from the first 5 minutes of the first quarter we play this season. Our standards and accountability will be extremely high. And the product on the floor is going to be one that you guys are going to be really, really proud of. Not only the product on the floor, but the product in the community, the relationships you guys are able to build with the young women in our program who are phenomenal young women with character. We're going, no one's going to play harder than us. No one will be more prepared than we will. We're going to execute well. We're going to be great teammates. We're going to love on the fans. We're going to do it all, and we do it together. It's truly going to take everybody. It's going to take our community. It's going to take our team doing their part. It's going to take our administration. It's going to take our fan base. It's going to take our alums. But if we can do this all together and we all really, really believe what Arizona women's basketball can be, I don't see any reason that we don't just reclaim our spot among the nation's elite. That's where we belong. That's why I'm here. And that's what I promise you every single day I will work my butt off to achieve. So I'm fired up. I'm thrilled. I'm so humbled. I'm ready to get to work. It's already been working, and just moving forward. I just can't wait to meet everybody and just make you guys extremely proud. So I'm going to leave you with something I literally just made up in my head, but it'll be BDB. Bear down, baby. Okay, that's what I'm gonna leave you guys with. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate this. This room is impressive, and the support. I appreciate it. And if this is an indication of what I'm walking into, I think I understand why I chose this place, and I'm very excited about it. So thank you guys so much, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach. At this time, we'll take questions from the media members in attendance. When doing so, please raise your hand so we can get the microphone to you. And
all right, just so you're aware, you are listening to the introductory press conference. Becky Burke, the new women's basketball coach at the University of Arizona. She just made her opening remarks, and now we'll take questions from the media. We'll stay with the press conference happening right now over at McHale Center.
You're left with a depleted roster. Mm-hmm. How are you going to, what's around you, the support, how can you get that where it needs to be for Big 12 competition?
Yeah, I'm very aware of what I walked into. I'm very aware of the roster situation, and I'm very aware of the support. And I wouldn't choose to be here and be standing in front of you guys if there was not the support needed to help us be competitive this season. I believe in our staff and what we're going to do and how we're going to be able to hit the ground running and recruiting. And I'm very aware of what I walked into and like to your point, the support, and it is there. And I'm appreciative and thankful.
Erica, PHNX. We've talked a lot about you being Becky the Builder. You've built a lot of programs up. And so I was just curious, what is your ideal blueprint for a player that you're bringing in from the portal?
Yeah, I think obviously we're just looking for high character, high talent level, and I don't think you can, there's a certain framework right now in the world of the transfer portal. We need to get obviously very, very talented players, but they have to be the right character. They have to be wired like we want our players wired here. They have to be in pursuit of championships. They have to be great students, so there's such a broad spectrum of players in the portal right now and where they come from and why they're in there. And I couldn't give you a here's exactly what they need to look like answer. We vet them, we build those relationships. We make sure that they're the right people for our staff, for our program, for this community and this university.
Hey Becky, Chris Brown, AZ Bandcat Sports. Now you're just getting settled and welcomed into the community, but have you had a chance to reach out to any of the players who are currently in the portal from Arizona? And if so, what's been the message to those players and an opportunity to get them back?
Yeah, I think this is home for them. They are welcome here, just wanting them to know that and wanting to, obviously, first and foremost, thank them for everything they've done during their time here. Support them in coming back if that's what they choose to do, and obviously supporting them in moving on if that's what they choose to do. Ultimately, just making sure they know they have a home here, they're appreciated, they're respected, and whatever decision they make, that we support that moving forward. But it's an important thing to make sure that you do reach out to the current players in there and the ones that are back, and we've done that. And so fully supportive and appreciative of all those guys.
Michael Lev, Arizona Daily Star.
When did you first realize that you wanted to be a coach, and how would you describe your professional path climbing up through the ranks?
Yeah, I think playing for Jeff Walls at Louisville was so inspiring every single day. Like, the man is brilliant. And seeing how we game planned, seeing how we practiced, you know, how he went over a scouting report, how he put us in positions to be successful. He made us believe we were better than we were every single day. You know, it was inspiring, I guess, to say the least. You know, so that's probably when I knew I wanted to be a coach, is when I was just so just in love with the process by being under him as a player. And then I think just describing my career path would be, you know, the unconventional route. And I think it would have been very easy, very, very easy to leave Louisville and have Jeff call a Power 5 school and get me an assistant coaching job at a really, really high level. You know, but I didn't want that. I didn't want him to feed me with a silver spoon because I was a high level player and I had achieved a lot. I wanted to grind and I wanted to do it from the ground up. And I didn't want help, and I wanted to prove that I could win no matter where I was. So I took the unconventional route. I started a couple hours up the road at an NAIA school that didn't even have a women's basketball program, and I wanted that challenge. And then, you know, from there, got my first Division II opportunity, and from there, got my first Division I opportunity, and from there, got a better Division I opportunity, and now to be somewhere that is the pinnacle of where you want to be in your career in this profession. I look back and am proud that Jeff didn't hand me a job, and proud that I earned it, and that's who I am. I want to earn everything I get. I'm gonna earn everything that I get here as well. Nothing's gonna be handed to us. I'm blue collar. Roll the sleeves up. That's what you guys will learn about me, and I'm proud to say that that's been, you know, kind of what my career has been made up of as well.
Becky, Damian Alameda, 13 News. Welcome to Tucson, first and foremost.
Thank you.
What about the financial resources allocated towards women's basketball here at Arizona makes you confident that Arizona can continue to remain competitive, not just within the Big 12, but within this college landscape?
Confidence in our leadership and the vision and the conversations, you know, that we've had that obviously are between, you know, the people that need to know the information. And so I wouldn't, again, I would not be here if I wasn't confident in Desiree and the position that they're going to put our program in to be successful. And it's important that you have things, but I also think you don't need everything. I've never been anywhere where I've had the most or the best, and I'm not saying we don't, but like I said, I prefer it the hard way, and we're going to get it done, and we're going to find a way, and I'm going to roll my sleeves up and figure it out. But the support is there, the vision is there, and the conversations have been had.
Jason Shear, Wildcat Authority. Is there you've been around programs that have turned around. Is there a common theme in how you have to approach a rebuild overall? Culture,
Standards, accountability, 24/7, not taking a day off from that, and I don't. And it starts with me from the top down. So that's the magic formula. It's hard to tell kids every day to tuck their shirt in when I'm tired and my son kept me up all night and I don't want to tell him and just let the shirt be untucked. No, tuck your shirt in. That's who I am, and it's 24/7, 365. So it's culture, accountability, standards, discipline. To answer your question in short.
Hi, Bruce Pasco, Arizona Daily Star. My question's a little like Damian's, but along the lines of resources. Do you feel like you say you're confident, but I didn't know, like, when you hit the ground, do you have to go out and raise money right away to be able to recruit some of these players, or where do you feel like there's already enough in place to get a team together?
Like I said, I feel tremendously supported in the conversations that we've had, and we're going to be thrilled to announce our recruiting class, and every case is different with every player and every situation we're walking into when we talk to kids, and I think those things are discussions between the people that need to have them, and they've been had, like I said. So yeah, I feel very confident.
Michael Smith for the Daily Wildcat. Where do you see this program, like if everything goes according to plan, where do you see this program in the next couple of years?
I asked Desiree this when we were sitting on my interview, and her answer is the reason I'm standing here. I said, hey, like, next 3 to 5, where do you want this program to be? Looks me dead in the face, no smile. competing for a national championship. I don't want to be anywhere where that's not the standard and the expectation. That's a room full of people that think like that I want to be in, you know. And I've been places where like, oh, it's okay, tough game, you know. Oh, like you just floated around 500. Like it's not okay. No, don't pat me on the back and tell me it is okay. I want to win. I want to win everywhere that I am, everywhere that I go, every game that we play.
Erin Patterson, KGUN 9 News. You walked us through your coaching career, and then you also mentioned earlier how you didn't just want a job, you wanted the job, and said that this was the job. So when you were first getting started in your coaching career, was that your mindset to eventually end up here?
No, and if it was, I'd still be at Embry-Riddle, you know, and that there would be nothing wrong with that. But I've been 2 feet on the ground everywhere that I've been, and it's never been like, okay, I got to win in 2 years to get out of here. And so many people that are at the NAIA level or the Division II level or the lower Division I level, that's their only goal. How can I get to the elite? How can I get to the Power 4 level? I've never once thought like that, including a week ago. That's never been my mindset. I want to be the best where I am every single day. Like I've coached every team that I've ever had for the last 10 years, like I'm the head coach at a Power 4 school, like my poor NAIA kids. And two of them are here today and going to join me on staff. I coached them like we were at Louisville. And I, like, so I'm not getting this job and like changing who I am and how I do things. It's been a 10-year, it's just who I am, how we do it no matter what, you know, but I've never had that. And when I'm 35, I need to be standing on this podium at this university. And if I did, I'm a firm believer I would not be here right now.
And this is for both of you about the resources thing, because fans have talked about how they wanted to help this program in the past and didn't feel like they get information on how to do that. So what is your plan in that sense? If house settlement, we know all that.
Well, I think there's a little bit of a misperception. Yeah. First, Mike right there, Mike Smith is right there. He will gladly take any and all checks. But in all, you know, we are, I think, we are #1 in terms of assistant coaches' salary pool. We are top 3rd in terms of overall operating budget in the Big 12. We are also top 3rd when it comes to overall NIL/rep share. So this is a well-resourced program. And if we're going to have competitive expectations and championship expectations, we know we got to provide the resources and the support. But we also are never going to we're never going to be that program that talks about excuses.
Nothing to add. I think that was said beautifully.
Just following up on what you said about early in your career, could you detail a little of what it was like at Embry-Riddle, and was there any resources there? Did you recruit? What was that like?
So 24 years old, land in Phoenix. I came out from Indiana. I was assistant coaching at that point, and they rented me a Kia Soul. It was lime green, and I drove up the hill. I'm like, where am I? Where am I going? But 24 years old, you know, had a lot of support and great people there, but, you know, threw me in an office and said, start a program. Arguably the most valuable 3 years of my entire career, because I had to put my head down and figure it out and find a way. Resources, I mean, yeah, I think in comparison to the NAIA world, there was resources there, but you're also recruiting to an aeronautical university that has no women's basketball program. So we have like aeronautical business. Let's go get some business majors that can make some layups. And like, we just figured it out and we attacked it the way that we thought. And I say we, but it was just me. So the way that I thought we should have. And it worked out, but so thankful for my time there. And just like I was telling them from the beginning, to come back to where it all began for me has been really special.
Just following up, I'm sorry. Just how do you find out, like, how do you recruit? Like, you find a list of people that are going there anyway, or do you scour some things and find out who's interested in aeronautical and see if they can play, or how does that work?
Yeah, no, same way you would recruit to any other program. You're going to go to the exposure events, and I wasn't sitting at the courts that Arizona was sitting at trying to find kids. I promise you that. But they're there, you know, and it's the work you put in and the grind, you know, and you know, I've been at a lot of places with a lot of challenges, and that's why it's exciting to be at a place like this where there aren't very many that I can think of.
Final questions will come from Michael.
This situation obviously isn't the same as that one, but there is a commonality in that you're kind of starting from scratch from a roster standpoint. So how do you go about building a roster, and what is your timetable for getting that done?
You're probably the last question because I need to get back to my phone, and that's the answer of how we're going to attack the roster situation. I mean, we're attacking it. I'm grinding, probably 3 hours of sleep the last 2 nights, but I love it, right? Like we have to fill a roster, but I think it's very appealing to recruits right now to come to a place like this with what we have here, who we have here, with an opportunity to play. The best thing about not having a roster is there's a lot of minutes available, so it's how you attack it, what's your, how you just think about things versus, and I told them, like, everywhere that I've been, it's a complete rebuild from the studs. And it's going to be no different here, and I don't expect the result to be any different in a couple years either. Visit, yeah, tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning. We're tomorrow morning, and it's a good one. It's a good one. Final thought. Thank you, everybody. I'm looking forward to getting to know everybody. I'm looking forward to building relationships, getting out into the community. That's something that's so important to me, and I am thankful to be your head women's basketball coach more so than anything, and just fired up to get started, and just immerse ourselves and our family into this community. So thank you guys so much for the support, and we'll see everybody soon.
All right, that is the head coach, the new head coach of your Arizona Wildcats women's basketball team, Becky Burke, meeting the media this afternoon at McHale Center. Her opening statements there, coming from the University of Buffalo. Her first job was at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical, which is up in Prescott, and so now she's got the opportunity. It's been a quick rise, 24 years old, her first job, and she went to Division II at Charleston, Buffalo, and now the University of Arizona, also USC Upstate along the way. Previous head coaching experience, first time, though, in a power conference. We'll see how it all shakes out. All right, we're going to take a break here. We'll come back. We'll talk more about that. We'll take your calls if you'd like to get in right now, 520-848-1290. A lot more still in store for you. Toby DeMello is going to join us in the 5 o'clock hour, hitting coach for your Arizona Wildcats. We are coming to you live from High Corbett Field. Opening of a 3-game series tonight between the Wildcats and the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Got some police coming right through right now. Hopefully nothing serious is going on, and they're not coming looking for me. There you go. As you can hear them coming. Of course, we got that police station that's right down the street here at Reed Park. You are listening to DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Golf Links and Craycroft and Golf Links. Collision occurred at the intersection. Backups at the intersection, mostly for traffic on Golf Links at Craycroft. Also reported Grande and St. Mary's. Collision on Mission between Ajo and Irvington. For your weather, there's a red flag warning tomorrow, 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. Gusty winds and high fire danger, and we've got 98 tomorrow's the high, 92 Sunday, and 99 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Lotto.com. Feeling lucky? Lotto.com has digital scratch tickets, tons of games, and instant fun. Scratch now on Lotto.com. Must be 21 or older in Arizona to play the lottery. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The jungle has moved afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from noon till 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online, no medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come. Visit ethos.com/sports. Ethos.com/sports.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Hey, honey, we should probably take flowers to the Johnsons. Let's see who's open. Nothing nearby.
We're right here. Can he seriously not see us?
No, he can't see you because you're buried deep in the list of local florists. Get a boost. Learn more at cumulusboost.com. Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text CUT to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text CUT to 42424. That's CUT to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
It's the $10,000 quiz show. Okay, contestants, these are things that save you money. Ready? Here we go. It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products.
Tobacco Barn.
You pay no city or state sales tax because they're on
the Indian Reservation.
And save up to another $3 off with a coupon at
TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Excellent. Now for the big savings. At Tobacco Barn, you'll save up to
40% off.
And because they're on the reservation, you pay no
city or state sales tax.
And at TobaccoBarnTucson.com, you get
a coupon up to $3 off.
What you are if you waste your money shopping somewhere else.
Crazy?
Nuts.
Stupid?
A few tacos short of a combo plate?
Whoa! Tobacco Barn, Tucson's most watched savings show. Nogales Highway just south of Valencia. Check your local listings or TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, it's DK on the Sports Tip. Don't miss a minute of the best Arizona Wildcats coverage in town. Tell your Alexa device to play Wildcats Radio 12.
Way better than before. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Springfest deals are still in full swing at Lowe's. Right now, get 5 bags of Stay Green Premium Color 2 cubic foot mulch for only $10. And get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, save up to $300 when you buy 2 or more select GE kitchen appliances of $396 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 4/16, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location while supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
Come on in to Total Wine & More. Prices much lower than a grocery store. Spirits, wine, beer for a whole lot less. Walking down the aisles makes you stop and say, yes! From mixing cocktails to a friendly get-together, Total Wine has everything you need, and more. With the lowest prices and best selection for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Call us at that number. Text us at that number. We just heard from Becky Burke in her initial press conference, new women's basketball coach at the University of Arizona. J-Dub, quick thoughts on what you heard? I think we've already got a couple sayings out of her. She said the word gritty, so I've already tweeted out gritty girls.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think what's not to like, DK? I mean, I like the idea that she could have had an easy path to a quick D1 position, and she chose to take the hard route. I like the idea that she's obviously super committed day in, day out to the student athletes, which should always be top priority. And, you know, I think the press conference went on a little long, DK, because with the roster she's inherited, she needs to get out there right now and see who wants to come down to Tucson from the portal.
Well, I understand she's going to have a little event with the donors coming up this evening. That's going to be important as well as they begin to move forward with putting this program back on its feet. And again, she said a lot of the right things that you hear in these press conferences, but the bottom line is she's got a whole lot of work to do, and she's going to have to be able to win on the floor. She's won pretty much everywhere she's went, so the question will be is can she make that happen here again in Tucson as well.
I know there's mixed feelings, DK, about this, but to me, I love Adia Barnes in that role. I love Coach Burke in that role because a person, DK, who's played in a Final Four, who's played at the highest level, is much more relatable, I think, to young players when you're speaking from a place of this is what I did and this is how I went about it when I took a trip to the Final Four when I was a player at Louisville. And I think that's something to be said. I think some people, it doesn't always work out, former players becoming coaches, but it's certainly relatable to young players, especially that she's a young coach herself.
520-848-1290. We're coming to you live from High Corbett Field, Arizona baseball tonight against Oklahoma State. First pitch coming up at 6:05. Our coverage will begin a little over an hour from now at 5:50 with Brian Jeffries. Let's get another break in. We just had that press conference for you with the new women's basketball coach, so we'll get another break in here. We'll come back. We'll give you your Diamondbacks download as well as your BetMGM Network top plays. I got an NBA play for you tonight. Got a couple of basketball plays for you as well. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Golf Links and Craycroft and Golf Links. Collision occurred at the intersection. Backups at the intersection, mostly for traffic on Golf Links at Craycroft. Also reported Grande and St. Mary's. Collision on Mission between Ajo and Irvington. For your weather, there's a red flag warning tomorrow, 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. Gusty winds and high fire danger, and we've got 98 tomorrow's the high, 92 Sunday, and 99 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by True Green. We're back in the miller's yard, who now use True Green.
Their lawn started looking like a golf course, and PGA Tour golfers made it their favorite stop.
Get a PGA Tour quality lawn for as little as $1 a day at TrueGreen.com. Exclusions apply. See TrueGreen.com for details.
You wanted to see me, Ron?
Yeah, see that woman sitting there? When did we hire her?
Oh, we didn't hire her. It's Take Your Mom to Work Day.
I've never heard of that.
Saw it on the internet.
Oh, boy.
Hey, guys. It's neat that Gary has a mom and all, but shouldn't we be talking about Alaska vacations?
That's why I brought Mom in.
I'm sure she's a lovely lady, but she can't promise a 1-year no-breakdown guarantee the way Alaskan AC does.
Nope.
And she doesn't promise lower energy bills the way Alaskan AC does.
Nope.
And she doesn't make sure people's air conditioner lasts longer than average, the way Alaskan AC does.
Nope. But she sings.
If you want your AC to last all summer long, with an Alaska vacation, it will always blow strong.
Wow.
Double wow.
Thanks, Mom.
Anything for the president of the company. How long have you two boys worked for Gary?
Gary!
Hey, gotta go. Promise to take Mom to lunch. Bye.
If you want your AC to last all summer long, with an Alaska vacation, it will always blow strong.
Schedule now at alaskanac.com.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text CUT to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text CUT to 42424. That's CUT to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger.
Figured out, but you never know in the Wild West. That's now college football. I'm Zach Gelb.
What's up, baseball fans? Go yard with BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. All season long, BetMGM is offering top odds on your favorite home run bets, fast and convenient ways to play same-game parlays, special boosts and tokens, and so much more. With BetMGM, you can be a part of every diving catch, every double play, every strikeout, and every home run from your favorite teams and players. And from the first pitch to the game-winning fireworks, there are more ways than ever to supercharge your excitement. Whether you want to combine multiple bets for the chance at a bigger payout, or place a live bet as the game unfolds, BetMGM, the best place to bet the long ball, has all the home run betting options you could need. Download the BetMGM app, sign up, and get your piece of MLB action. BetMGM is an official partner of Major League Baseball. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. Arizona only. First bet offers for new customers only. All other promotions for existing customers. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Here's the 1-0. Swung on. That's blasted out to right field. Judge turns, looks, and that ball's gone. Carroll's first of the year, a no-doubter in Yankee Stadium, and the D-backs jump in front 2-0.
Diamondback download.
Baseball talk.
Diamondbacks opening up a series at home tonight up at Chase Field against the Milwaukee Brewers. And how about the start to season number 3 for Corbin Carroll? He has been one of the best players in Major League Baseball through the first 2 weeks of the season, hitting .320. He's got a tied for team high 5 home runs. He and Gino Suarez each have hit 5. He's driven in 8 runs. He has 6 walks this season. His WAR is 1.2, which leads Major League Baseball right now. Corbin Carroll absolutely killing it, and Torey Lovullo absolutely loving it.
I've seen him on some heaters for sure. I know last year he came on very strong in the second half. But, yeah, I think there was a period of time for about a month and a half at the start of maybe like May-ish till mid-June of his rookie season. I thought this is a really impressive run for any type of a player at any time, let alone Corbin Carroll in his first year. So, yeah, I think he's been very consistent. He works as hard as anybody. He's not sitting still. He doesn't waste days. He's going to get better every single day. That's what we like in all of our players.
So the Diamondbacks and the Brewers, 6:40 first pitch tonight. Eduardo Rodriguez needs to see if he can bottle up some of what he got in front of him from Brandon Pfaadt and Merrill Kelly earlier this week. He has struggled in his first couple of starts this season. No wins, one loss, a 6.10 ERA. He has struck out 17, though, in 10 1/3 innings, so the strikeouts have been very good for Eduardo Rodriguez. Jose Quintana will get the ball, the lefty, tonight for the Milwaukee Brewers. I mentioned Gino Suarez. His average has suffered this year. He's only hitting 156, the first winner of the National League Player of the Week, but 5 home runs, 11 RBIs. All of those coming in the first week, though, so I'd like to see Gino get hot again here coming up with this series. Both these teams enter at 7-6 on the year. The favorite tonight is the Diamondbacks at minus 160 on the run line. Your over-under is 8.5, and the play there is to play it under 8.5 tonight. The run line is in favor of Milwaukee at plus 1.5 this evening. Again, first pitch coming up at 6:40 tonight at Chase Field. Time now. Hey, there's Mike Lowry, ladies and gentlemen, entering the building. We can start the game now. Everybody that needs to be here is here. Time now for your BetMGM play of the day.
Bet. Tucker had an RBI single his first time. He drives one in the air. Deep right field. It's got a chance. Gone. Kyle Tucker with a home run to right. His first at Wrigley Field as a member of the Cubs. And the Cubs now open up a 7-3 lead.
All right, so before we get to today's top play, let's give you a few plays that, future plays, as I like to call them, that you might want to take a look at. How about Kyle Tucker and the Chicago Cubs? The Cubs are favorite to win the National League Central this season. Kyle Tucker off to a fabulous start. Speaking of 5 home runs, which is what Corbin Carroll and Gino Suarez each have this season. Kyle Tucker also with 5 home runs for the Chicago Cubs, hitting .322 in this early part of the season. His 16 runs batted in right now are tied for second in all of Major League Baseball, and his 1.130 OPS is tied for 7th overall. Kyle Tucker right now is a pretty good play for National League MVP over at the Desert Diamond Casino right now. If you want to take Kyle Tucker for National League MVP, you can get those odds at plus 850, which means your $12.90 bet, $12.90, could return you $109.65. Also, the Cubs favorite to win the Central this year. That right now is at minus 143. You could have gotten that on the plus side at the beginning of the season at plus 110, but they've gotten off to a pretty solid start already in first place, so that has dropped down to the minus category at 143. So if you take the Cubs right now to win the National League Central, you are going to only get a return of $9.03 on your $12.90 bet. Let's hear what we've got for you tonight on the BetMGM Network Top Play.
I'm Michael Jenkins, here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. There's only 3 games remaining in the NBA regular season, which gives us plenty of chances to back the teams playing for playoff seeding. The Lakers fall into that category tonight against a banged-up Rockets team with nothing to play for. LA is fresh off that win in Luka Doncic returning home to Dallas, and there will not be any letdown as 9.5-point favorites. I'm Michael Jenkins from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books, and download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
All right, so Lakers minus 9.5 over the Rockets. That's at minus 110 right now, so your $12.90 bet there gets you back $11.74. We got a win last night on the NBA side, courtesy of Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I don't think there's any lead that the Wolves could muster right now that Wolves fans would feel comfortable with after what they saw Tuesday. Late clock, Randall's got to put one up, does so, hits the rim, and the foul by the Ant-Man. Oh, Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, the lead we were going to be comfortable with there last night was a small one. We only needed the Timberwolves to win that game by 2 points. Anthony Edwards, though, put on a show, 44 points on the road in Memphis last night, 141-125. T-Wolves win big on the road, so we did pick up a win on theirs. We had the Timberwolves minus 2.5 in that ball game, and so we got 1161 back on that bet right there. Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves, J-Dub, getting primed for the postseason.
Yeah, if people don't understand that reference, DK, 3 days ago, the Bucks were down by 30 to the T-Wolves, and they got outscored. The T-Wolves got outscored 40-13 in the fourth quarter and lost that game by 7. So that's why no lead is safe. But, yeah, I mean, we've talked about the T-Wolves, their young core. Anytime you've got a guy who's one of the best bucket getters in Ant, you can always find a way to win games in the playoff along with your defense. Did you know, DK, that Anthony Edwards is averaging 11 threes attempted a game this year?
Wow.
Leads the NBA. A lot of outside shots. Hopefully that he can find his way closer to the basket because that's where he does his most damage.
Those are two.
Also, real quick, DK, on the NBA subject, I don't know if you heard this or not, but yesterday, T.J. McConnell and Benedict Mathurin and the Pacers set the record for most consecutive home games with 100 or more points.
Wow.
107 consecutive games. It breaks a record by the Spurs from 1978 to 1981.
Oh, those are the George Gervin Spurs.
Exactly. That record's been around for 40 years, DK. They just broke a 40-year-old record. Now 107 consecutive games at home with 100 or more points.
And they did it with a comeback win over the number 1 seeded Cleveland Cavaliers last night. The Grizzlies and the Timberwolves likely to come up against each other at some point in that play-in round, potentially. They hold the 7th and 8th spots, but they could easily move up. I mean, there's one game that separates the Nuggets, the Clippers, the Warriors, the Grizzlies, and the Timberwolves. So who knows, although the Clippers have won 6 in a row, they're finishing strong. Who knows how those last few positions of the actual tournament and then the play-in tournament could finish out.
The guy whose job it is in the NBA front office to calculate tiebreakers has his legal pad out right now and is just doing a whole bunch of maths.
One more play for you tonight on the Major League side. Dodgers and Padres take the two other teams in the National League West in a parlay tonight. In a parlay at plus 129. Your $12.90 bet can bring you home $16.62. We'll update you on all of these plays coming up next week. We won't have a show Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. We'll tell you all about that and coming up a little bit later in the show. All right, DK on the Sports Tip. Toby DeMello is going to join us in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll talk some more Arizona Wildcats baseball as well. If you want to get in on the new coach and what you heard from her, we'll take your calls as well. And it is DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio, 1290.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Golf Links in Craycroft. Bad collision occurred at Craycroft and Golf Links. Overturned vehicle, serious collision. That intersection, it is shutting down. Oof. No through travel. Please avoid Golf Links and Craycroft. Other collisions, Miracle Mile and Flowing Wells, Grande and St. Mary's. Also earlier wreck that occurred on Mission, right between Ajo and Irvington. And for your weather, red flag warning tomorrow, 11 a.m. till 8 p.m., 98 tomorrow, 92 on Sunday, 98 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Arizona Lottery.
When you play the Arizona Lottery, there's always a chance you'll win big, but there's also a guarantee that you'll be giving back to the community. There's joy in it all. Love the play with scratchers, draw games, and more from the Arizona Lottery.
Every day when we're on the road, people around us endanger themselves and others by looking at their phones while driving. There's the sneak-a-peeker who darts their eyes between the road and their texts, or the nightlighter who illuminates their car after dark. If that's you, reconsider before you find yourself becoming the fender bender-er, the got a ticket-er, or worst of all, the driver who killed someone. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
Bring spring to your door with Target Circle 360. Get all you need for Easter hosting, spring get-togethers, and more with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. From Easter basket goodies to fresh florals, getting everything the same day is easy. Open the Target app and bring the magic of the season to your door with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. Visit target.com/circle or the Target app for more details. Subscription required. Same-day delivery is subject to terms. Applies to orders over $35.
Your home for U of A football.
Nobody will catch him. Touchdown, Arizona.
Men's basketball.
Midcourt. Shot is up. Good.
And baseball.
Here comes the winning run. And the Cats have won it.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-609-6677. 800-609-6677. And once again, that's 800-609-6677.
Every day when we're on the road, people around us endanger themselves and others by looking at their phones while driving. There's the sneak-a-peeker who darts their eyes between the road and their texts, or the nightlighter who illuminates their car after dark. If that's you, reconsider before you find yourself becoming the fender bender-er, the got a ticket-er, or worst of all, the driver who killed someone. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
Bring spring to your door with Target Circle 360. Get all you need for Easter hosting, spring get-togethers, and more with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. From Easter basket goodies to fresh florals, getting everything the same day is easy. Open the Target app and bring the magic of the season to your door with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. Visit target.com/circle or the Target app for more details. Subscription required. Same-day delivery is subject to terms. Applies to orders over $35.
Arizona baseball is on the hunt for a Big 12 championship.
Up the middle, that'll go through for a base hit. White scores, Guzman around third. He is headed home.
Catch all the action with Brian Jeffries right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wildcat fans, Taco Bell is a proud partner of Arizona Athletics and is ready to serve you. We're open for breakfast. Fire up your mornings with breakfast at Taco Bell. You've heard about Happy Hour? Well, try Happier Hour at your local Taco Bell for $1 beverages. From 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., choose any regular freezes or medium drink for $1. It's the happiest time of the day. Taco Bell is locally owned and operated and is looking forward to serving Wildcat fans. Stay safe, bear down, and live Moss.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. No one is talking Roadrunners, Sugar Skulls, and FC Tucson like us. We are Southern Arizona's #1 sports station. Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
It is the weekend, and we are out at High Corbett Field. Baseball tonight. Wildcats and the Oklahoma State Cowboys. The gates just opened here at High Corbett Field. So if you're coming down tonight, get on in and maybe catch a little bit of the final stages of BP tonight before the Wildcats and Oklahoma State do battle on the diamond for the first time as opponents in the Big 12. So looking forward to this meeting here tonight. Wildcats, again, sitting in a tie for third place, a four-way tie for first place, with the likes of Arizona State, TCU is there with them as well. So an opportunity maybe to get out of that tie and make a little bit of a move in the Big 12 for your Arizona Wildcats. The ladies on the road today, and that game in Lawrence, Kansas, has just gone final. Number 13, Arizona, knocks off the Jayhawks by a score of 2-0, a shutout for Miranda Stoddard. Miranda, 6 innings, allowed just 4 hits, 2 walks, struck out 3. And Devin Netz gets her first save of the season. Coming on to pitch the 7th, Devin would strike out the side to end things. Miranda Stoddard does not have a losing decision yet this season. She is 9-0 on the year. Run scoring hits in this ball game. Jenna Sniffen, we got a chance to talk to earlier this week, hit a home run in this contest, a solo shot in the 3rd inning. Kaya Altmaier had an RBI single in the 5th. Wildcats got just 7 hits themselves, but it was plenty today to win by a score of 2-0. Game 2 of that series will be coming up tomorrow in Lawrence, Kansas. Game 1 of this series tonight here against the Oklahoma State Cowboys coming up at 6:05. We've got you for about another 40 minutes or so before we hand things off to Brian Jeffries here tonight and get you set for some baseball. Toby DeMello is going to join us just a little bit later as well. We'll talk hitting with the hitting coach for your Arizona Wildcats. 520-848-1290 if you want to chat a little bit about what you heard from the new basketball coach, your Arizona women's basketball team. She had her press conference just about an hour ago, and we brought you that here live. Interesting, J-Dub, a couple things. One, we were talking earlier this week about and then we had and I don't know if we ever finished out this particular question of the day, so we'll go back to it. But we were talking about the Crown tournament, which was played this year for the first time. It was an NIL postseason tournament. Teams from the Big 12, the Big 10, the Big East, I believe, was what it or the
correct
was the teams that were involved in the Crown.
Conferences, DK,
the big conferences.
The big conferences.
Exactly. So the question we threw out there was, do you believe that the Crown basketball tournament, CBC, will eventually be bigger than the NIT, which is obviously the main secondary tournament for those that don't get into the NCAA? So we threw that out there as a question of the day. Yes and yes. Yes, we believe the college basketball Crown tournament will be bigger than the NIT. Or yes, we watched it, I should say. Did you watch it, first of all? And then do you think it's going to be better than the NIT? Yes and yes. Yes and no. No and yes, and no and no. Well, the ultimate winner of that was the no and the no. No, people did not watch the Crown basketball tournament, which was on Fox Sports 1. And no, they don't think that this tournament is going to be bigger than the NIT at any point. Well, the Nebraska Cornhuskers, who have never won a NCAA tournament game, won this particular tournament. So they won for themselves $300,000 in NIL. Fred Hoiberg is their head coach. He was on Sirius XM Big Ten Radio earlier this week, and he talked about winning the Crown tournament versus making the NCAA tournament.
You want to be in the NCAA tournament. You want to do something that's never been done in the history of the program, and that's win in March Madness. So, to have that opportunity, that's what this thing's all about. Now, that being said, I don't think anybody knew, what to expect with the Crown because it's brand new. And, it's a very unique format to where you're competing for a purse and you're competing for a prize. And is that going to change now with the NCAA, with the NIT? I mean, how is that all going to change the landscape of postseason tournament play? So, for our guys to go there and split and get a pretty darn good chunk of money and go out on top. And, listen, one of the most successful seasons in Nebraska was winning the NIT, and there's a banner in Pinnacle Bank Arena with that. Now, with that being said, again, we want to get this to where we are competing for NCAA championships, and that happens in the NCAA tournament. So I think at the end of the day, you want to be in that, to have a chance to do something that's never been done in this program. But, for us, we took advantage of the position and the situation that we were in, and again, ended on a high note. And guys feel really good about that. We talked about, we won the Diamond Head Classic this year in Hawaii, and the feeling that came with that. And, to be able to go out with the win, I think there's, 3 or 4 teams at the end of the season that can say they're going into the offseason with a win, and we're one of those teams.
And, the secondary question to this now is not so much, again, will this be bigger than the NIT? I think the secondary question moving forward as it relates to teams in these conferences is, if you don't make the NCAA tournament, do we want to play in the NIT or do we want to play in the Crown? And I think you're going to find more kids because there is, like he said, a purse, and we're not talking about a Louis Vuitton purse or anything like that. We're talking about actual cash money, brothers. I think players, if you put it to them, if Tommy Lloyd, God forbid the Wildcats don't make the NCAA tournament, we don't even want to have that conversation. But if you do, and he puts it into a vote playing the NIT or the Crown, I think there's more players that are going to want to play in the Crown.
The way I understand it, DK, is it's not a choice. There's a slotting, like the bowl system. So basically, the Crown takes the 2 teams from the Big East, Big 12, and Big 10 that don't make the NCAA tournament. They get slotted into the Crown. So basically, if you're just good enough to not make the NCAA tournament, I think you go to the Crown. I think that's the way that they're designing it to be, so that those teams that are in the Crown tournament are just there on the bubble. Secondarily, the real question I have is Fred Hoiberg's college nickname the greatest of all time?
I don't remember what that is.
The Mayor. So his nickname was the Mayor when he was in college, and you know why that is that he was so popular in Ames, Iowa, that he could have run for mayor and won when he was a student at Iowa State. That the Mayor, Fred Hoiberg, the Mayor.
Wow.
One of my favorite nicknames.
So then what you're saying is that the Crown already has a higher standing than the NIT?
I don't think it's like signed to law. I don't think that those teams, I think those teams could potentially decide not to play in the Crown and to play in the NIT instead. But the way I understand it is there's a slotting system, just like the bowl system, where the teams that are just left out of the NCAA tournament, the Crown gets first dibs on those teams.
All right. Interesting. Very interesting.
Because obviously the idea being like big name teams, like Nebraska is a huge school, huge amount of support. Clearly not a basketball tradition like a lot of their schools, but when they're just on the verge of making the NCAA tournament, they want to get as many eyeballs, and obviously it's set up. This is a made-for-TV. It's obviously NIL for the players. That's the carrot at the end of the tournament, but it's made for Fox, and that's what they're really doing, is trying to get as many big schools as possible to participate.
Speaking of NIL, let's hear from the president of the NCAA. His name is Charlie Baker. Obviously, we had the House NCAA House case settlement. It has not nothing came out of that on Monday. The judge is still looking into it. She sent back some things to the attorneys to further look at, and hopefully at some point we'll have a decision on that settlement there on how this whole new life and revenue share is going to look like. NCAA President Charlie Baker talked on SiriusXM College Sports about this whole thing, and he's optimistic on what this settlement is going to mean for the structure of NIL.
If it gets approved, for the first time, we're going to have structure around name, image, and likeness. We're going to have an institutional NIL program for the schools, and we're going to have the third-party NIL program that people are familiar with. But unlike the way it's worked historically, which is sort of off the books, off the boards, no one really knows what's going on out there. It's all sort of representation and anecdotes, but there's no real truth to any of it. The one thing we will create here is a system that actually has rules and structure, and we will be able to tell just exactly how much money in the NIL world, on the institutional side and the third-party side, people are investing in sports, and especially in particular sports. And for me, that's really important because I think the way this thing's been working up until now, no one knows. They really don't. All you have is what people tell you, and honestly, I've come not to believe any of it, and I know that's true for a lot of people who cover sports who've told me the same thing. We will at least finally understand how much money on the NAL side are people putting, our schools and third parties putting into men's basketball, women's basketball, football, baseball, softball, all the various sports. And I think that's going to be a big win for everybody because transparency creates accountability, and right now we don't have either.
Yeah, that's all I think anybody is asking for, transparency and structure.
It's hard to be transparent when you don't have a system to be transparent about, right?
Exactly. We need a system that works for everybody on some type of equal level. All right, let's bring in the third member of our team once again, cricket. It is officially 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, but we know it's 5 o'clock here in the desert right now, so the weekend is now officially here. Well, depending on what you do for a living or don't do anymore for a living, because, it seems like in this town, everybody's out of the door by 3 o'clock on a Friday anyway. So we're the only ones working after 3 o'clock. Everybody else is off after 3 o'clock on a Friday. But what can folks do here this weekend in Southern Arizona? Cricket, give us some more of the fine things happening in Southern Arizona.
And so for kids tomorrow, age 6 to 14, there is the Great Paper Airplane Fly-Off at the Pima Air and Space Museum at 9 a.m. It is completely free to attend, but you must register at pimaair.org. Tomorrow, a celebration of Oro Valley, 2 to 5 p.m. at James D. Craig Park, with games and crafts and food and inflatables and even a dodgeball tournament. Easter at La Encantada tomorrow, 10 a.m. till 2 p.m., egg hunts and the Easter Bunny. And tomorrow night, Laser Light Music Nights at the U of A Flandreau Science Center and Planetarium, featuring Laser 80s at 6:30, Laser Queen at 8, and Laser Prince at 9:30 tomorrow night at the U of A Flandreau Science Center and Planetarium.
There you go. Lots of exciting stuff for sure to do this weekend here in Southern Arizona. It's going to be hot, so if you're going to be out, make sure you're hydrated. I heard they had to rescue some people off in Sabino the other day. If you're going to be hiking, please make sure you take enough water to do that. We don't want folks to be having to get rescued. I mean, how many times does that have to happen out here? I guess it's probably people that don't know anything about it. Cricket, thank you. Have a great weekend.
You too.
All right, Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
And from the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Golf Links in Craycroft, really bad collision occurred there. It's an overturned vehicle. The intersection of Golf Links and Craycroft is completely shut down. Even the Craycroft gate of Davis-Monthan closed as well during this investigation. Again, please completely avoid Golf Links in Craycroft. Other collisions, Miracle Mile and Flowing Wells, Grande and St. Mary's. Also a wreck on Mission between Ajo and Irvington. There is a red flag warning tomorrow, 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. 98 tomorrow, 92 on Sunday, and 98 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/credit card.
The jungle has moved afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from noon till 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Spring is here and the hot summer temperatures are not far away. Your air conditioning system is one of the biggest expenses in your house. Maintaining your air conditioner is critical to keeping you cool all summer long. Protect your investment by calling Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or picturoxcooling.com for fast, friendly, and professional service you deserve.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Spring is on its way to Southern Arizona, and while we're hoping for a few more weeks of mild weather, we know extreme heat comes next. So right now is the time to get your car or truck road trip ready. And with 14 convenient locations, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the place. Not sure about your car's air conditioner? Need to check out that light on your dashboard? Or make sure your battery can make it through another summer? Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is here to help. with decades of experience here in Arizona and dozens of Top Shop awards for tires and automotive maintenance. And right now, save big on the brands you love, like Michelin, and get big rebates like $100 back on Cooper tires. Plus, buy 3, get 1 free on Cooper's new Pro Control Series tires. You can stack on even more savings when you pay with your Jack Furrier card. Check out jackfurriers.com for all the promotions and details, and even more money-saving coupons on top of our already low prices. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, here to get you there.
Every day when we're on the road, people around us endanger themselves and others by looking at their phones while driving. There's the sneak-a-peeker who darts their eyes between the road and their texts, or the nightlighter who illuminates their car after dark. If that's you, reconsider before you find yourself becoming the fender bender-er, the got a ticket-er, or worst of all, the driver who killed someone. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
Bring spring to your door with Target Circle 360. Get all you need for Easter hosting, spring get-togethers, and more with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. From Easter basket goodies to fresh florals, getting everything the same day is easy. Open the Target app and bring the magic of the season to your door with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. Visit target.com/circle or the Target app for more details. Subscription required. Same-day delivery is subject to terms. Applies to orders over $35.
Every day when we're on the road, people around us endanger themselves and others by looking at their phones while driving. There's the sneak-a-peeker who darts their eyes between the road and their texts, or the nightlighter who illuminates their car after dark. If that's you, reconsider before you find yourself becoming the fender bender-er, the got a ticket-er, or worst of all, the driver who killed someone. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
Bring spring to your door with Target Circle 360. Get all you need for Easter hosting, spring get-togethers, and more with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. From Easter basket goodies to fresh florals, getting everything the same day is easy. Open the Target app and bring the magic of the season to your door with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. Visit target.com/circle or the Target app for more details. Subscription required. Same-day delivery is subject to terms. Applies to orders over $35.
Download our app.
It slaps.
Nobody covers Southern Arizona sports like we do. Don't miss out on any of the highlights, stories, and analysis. The flagship home for Arizona Wildcats athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. Over in college basketball, the SMU Mustangs have found their new head coach. The program just introduced Adia Barnes as their leader on the sidelines. Barnes just spent 9 years as the head coach at her alma mater, the University of Arizona. Her tenure in Tucson was highlighted by a 2021 appearance in the national title game. That trip to the Final Four is the only in the history of the Arizona program. Now Barnes heads to Dallas, trying to resurrect an SMU program that hasn't made the NCAA tournament since 2008.
Just logistically where it's at, how it's easy to get to, and then an amazing city with the fourth biggest media market. What doesn't Dallas have?
Yeah.
So I think this is a hotbed. I think a sleeping giant for sure.
Arizona has already hired Becky Burke as their new head coach. Burke just led Buffalo to the WNIT championship. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Erica Herskowitz on Westwood One.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the GPS directions first.
country
coming
into this week. We led the country in 23. We were like 7 or 8 in 22, and last year we weren't as high. But this year again, we're top 5, and with that, we don't talk about overswinging. It's not like we're trying to take huge swings. So, if we can hit it clean as much as we can, I think that's a big thing.
Toby DeMello joining us, hitting coach for your Arizona Wildcats. Getting back to the triples, is there one guy that you're surprised has multiple triples this season on this roster?
Caulfield, he can run a little bit. I'm trying to think. Garen's got multiple. I know Mason's got multiple. I think does Summerhill still lead the country? I know he was leading the country.
He's got 6, yeah.
Who else has multiple?
Let's see. Well, Matthias has 2.
He can run.
Easton has 2.
He can run.
Maddox has 2.
Maddox is he can
the rest of the guys you might expect to be big time guys. How about Walton? Is Walton considered to be a speedster?
I thought he'd have more. Yeah, he's got some homers here though. Yeah, we got to get some more triples there, I guess.
A veteran guy in Aaron Walton that you guys were able to get. What do you like about what he's at?
He's been awesome. Not just in the lineup, just in the locker room. Just a great dude. Super hard worker. He's one of the better guys in the clubhouse. He's just sometimes in the portal you don't know what you're getting right. You've never coached him, and he's been awesome. Super good teammate. Super coachable. Super hard worker. He's awesome.
Arizona Wildcats hitting coach Toby DeMello joining us. You mentioned adapting to what you guys had when you first got here with Jay's group. Is it easier now that these are mostly all your guys now that that this staff is recruited?
Yeah, I just think you know them longer, right? Like we're starting to get to those classes where we've known them since they were, juniors, some sophomores in high school, and next year we're gonna have some guys coming in that we've known since they were freshmen, sophomores, and so I think the relationship is already kind of established when they get here a little bit. Where when we came in, I didn't know I knew Daniel Susak. Outside of Dan, I really didn't know anyone. So a lot of it was just getting to know these guys and understand what makes them tick a little bit. And because hitting, that's half the battle, right? The mental game and just getting guys to, they're going to feel different every day, and they might be dealing with stuff off the field. And so just getting to know them and understand what their personality is. So I think it's probably less of that now, where it was like now this year it's kind of just the freshmen where you're like really getting to know them. Where that was the whole team, right? And so I think that part's been a little bit easier, just establishing the relationships. That's always been big for me. I want guys to trust me, and I want to trust them. So yeah, it's been easier in that sense. It's just kind of one class at a time now, rather than trying to get to know the whole team.
This is, I guess, this is an offense right now that is dealing with not having Brendan Summerhill in the middle of it. How would you describe what this offense misses when he's not in there?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about at the time maybe one of the best hitters in college baseball. Obviously with injury, I don't know if he'll get there now, but would imagine been a Golden Spikes semifinalist and maybe potentially finalist in that capacity. So yeah, you're missing out on one of the best hitters in college baseball. I just think his at bats consistently are really, really good, and he doesn't leave the zone. He makes a lot of contact, and so anytime you miss a guy like that's out of lineup, you're going to miss a lot. But we've tried to really flip it as a positive. Some guys are getting some at bats that we might not have thought would get this many, and so hopefully down the stretch it gives us a little more depth than we thought we would even have.
Toby DeMello joining us. He is the hitting coach for your Arizona Wildcats. U of A, Oklahoma State opening up a 3-game series here tonight. First pitch coming up just a little bit after 6. You'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Adonis Guzman having a heck of a season at the plate. What have you liked about his progression from last year to this year?
Yeah, I think it's really been just his work off the field, to be honest with you. It's not that he wasn't a worker last year, but I think he really started to understand what it takes to be really good. Because it's not just showing up at practice and doing the work when we're mandated to do the work. It's taking care of your body, especially being a catcher, right? You got to take care of your body. You got to get an ice bath. You got to eat right. You got to get sleep. And I think he's taken all those things serious and done a really good job. I mean, now he's one of the first guys here every day. He's got his routine down. I mean, very consistent. I think he lacked some consistency with his preparation last year, and he's been super consistent this year, and I think the results are just a byproduct of that consistency.
Is that just an age thing, maybe, getting better with the consistency, or just kind of finding where he needs to be mentally?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of all those things. I think it's seeing some other guys around him who have a chance to play this game for a long time and see how they go about their work. I think it speaks to our culture and the expectations here of, it's like you got to do extra work here. That's a non-negotiable, and that's not what I mandate. That's what our players mandate. It's we're going to be good because we work at it. You don't just show up and be good. And then him just understanding what he wants in his career. This game isn't just given to you. It's too hard, and so you have to really work at it. And I think he's learned that.
Who are the guys that mandate that? Is that Brendan? Is that Garen? Are there other guys that mandate? Look, we need to be here at a certain time working on our craft.
I don't think it's necessarily like something that's spoken. I think it's. I think it's funny. All the freshmen come in, and if practice is at 2:00, they'll usually roll in at like 1:30. They'll get their swings off the tee, and they're like, "How come no one was hitting early?" I'm like, "Well, all the older guys are done. Like they come in. There's guys here. If we have practice at 2, there's guys hitting at 11:30, 12. They all have their routine and." They're workers, man, and it makes my job a little bit easier.
We were remarking that it looked like the 2 home runs that Mason White hit the other night were balls that were out of the strike zone.
Yep, they were.
What does that say about just his ability and the way he's seeing things? And I know we talked to Chip a couple of weeks ago, and he said one of the things you're working on with him is to try to cut down the strikeouts and be more selective up there.
Yeah, really just trying to limit chase. He's one of the most talented guys I've ever coached. He's got, he's special. I've been fortunate. We've had some good players here. Your Chase Davises, Daniel Susaks, obviously Summerhill. Mason's in that group, and man, like if he's not the most talented, he's definitely up there. I think part of that is like he knows he's really good, and so he's going to be aggressive, which you don't want to take that away from him, but just trying to get him to understand, like, your name's circled. Guys aren't just going to give in and throw you 2-0 fastballs. They're going to pitch to you differently. And so just being really, patiently aggressive. You got to be really aggressive in your spots. And he's definitely shown glimpses of that at times. But I think that's just something he's going to progress and get better at in his career.
A little bit of a slow start for Andrew Kane this year, much like what happened last year, his freshman year. What did you see early, and what allowed him maybe to kind of turn that corner and get in the groove to where he's, Chip was saying we got to find a place to play him and get his bat in the lineup.
Yeah, he's just a hitter, man. He hit his freshman fall. He hit last year, and again, same thing. He started off slow. Found his way in the lineup a little bit and just got hot. And he's just a hitter. I think there's some guys you get that have a knack for finding the barrel. And we kind of joke with them, I'm like, don't be like Tony Bullard where you're going to hit, under 100 the first month, and then you end up hitting 300 because you're good. But let's just hit over 300 the whole year. But no, he's got a knack for hitting, man. He hit well this fall. He hit well in January. I think it's just one of those things that when you don't have a lot of at-bats, it feels worse than it probably is. But no, he's a bat we need in there for sure.
What were some of the conversations on the hitting side after last year about the disappointment of losing in the first round, in the first phase of the NCAA tournament, and what guys wanted to try to do to make sure that this team can play deeper into May and June?
Yeah, I think obviously having a lot of guys back, just kind of knowing what that natural progression is going to be. But I think our expectations last year were so much different because there really weren't any last year. I don't think it was. We were returning 3 starters. I think Tommy, Garen, Mason of that core group from the 23 team who, we lost 70 home runs and 4 guys that hit over 340. And so I think last year there wasn't really many expectations. And as we obviously progressed in the season, we leaned on our starting pitching a lot and timely hitting. And we felt like this year we'd be able to take that step of okay, we can win in multiple ways. Like we can win slugfest when, we can play a little more small ball. We can be more dynamic. We're a little more athletic. So it was really just how do we keep progressing, right? Like how do we get better from your freshman year to your sophomore year? How do we get better from your sophomore year to your junior year? And guys are pretty good with their process and. It's been fun watching these guys.
All right, Toby, Oklahoma State here this weekend and Grand Canyon on Tuesday to wrap up the homestand. Continued success. Looking forward to this race down the stretch of the Big 12 Conference.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Toby DeBello, hitting coach for your Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats and Oklahoma State coming up a little bit after 6 o'clock here tonight, game 1 of a 3-game series. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. Broadway and Country Club. Country Club and Broadway, new collision reported there. Golf Links in Craycroft, really bad wreck occurred. It's an overturned vehicle. Intersection of Golf Links and Craycroft is completely shut down. No through travel. Again, at Golf Links and Craycroft, a lot of backups in the area. Red flag warning tomorrow, 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. Tomorrow, 98. 92 on Sunday, and 98 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
It's part sports.
We have football on the brain.
Part pop culture.
Dennis Leary. True or false? You refuse to wear a glove with Mickey Mantle's signature on it for the movie The Sandlot.
The Red Sox blood, the Brewers blood, they run deep.
And in the best celebrity interviews.
Robert De Niro here on The Rich Eisen Show. How are you, sir?
Just got over a 24-hour virus.
The antidote is to appear on The Rich Eisen Show.
There you go. I would have just done it earlier.
And you've got The Rich Eisen Show podcast.
There is a medicinal quality to appearing on this program.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments, bouquet of flowers. This is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
You're listening to The Jim Rome Show.
The Dodgers' exorbitant spending is good for baseball. What? Are they not supposed to try? Are they not supposed to create a world-class organization? Are they not supposed to attempt to procure the best talent possible in a talent procurement business? Are they not supposed to reinvest the money they have earned legitimately in their product? In other words, what are we even talking about here?
The Jim Rome Show, weekdays at noon right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
You wanted to see me, Ron?
Yeah, see that woman sitting there? When did we hire her?
Oh, we didn't hire her. It's Take Your Mom to Work Day.
I've never heard of that.
Saw it on the internet.
Oh, boy.
Hey, guys. It's neat that Gary has a mom and all, but shouldn't we be talking about Alaskifications?
That's why I brought Mom in.
I'm sure she's a lovely lady, but she can't promise a 1-year no-breakdown guarantee the way Alaskan AC does.
Nope.
And she doesn't promise lower energy bills the way Alaskan AC does.
Nope.
And she doesn't make sure people's air conditioner lasts longer than average, the way Alaskan AC does.
Nope. But she sings.
If you want your AC to last all summer long, with an Alaskification, it will always blow strong.
Wow.
Double wow.
Thanks, Mom.
Anything for the president of the company. How long have you two boys worked for Gary?
Gary!
Hey, gotta go. Promise to take Mom to lunch. Bye.
If you want your AC to last all summer long, with an Alaskification, it will always blow strong.
Schedule now at AlaskanAC.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
You look amazing. What have you been doing?
You've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can help provide you with semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text DEAL to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie to see if you're eligible. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text DEAL to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text DEAL to 200-300. DEAL to 200-300.
This is Zach Gelb with the Sports Minute. This offseason, the New York Giants have signed Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, and the Cleveland Browns have traded for Kenny Pickett, and just today signed Joe Flacco. So should any of these quarterback moves prevent the Browns or Giants from drafting Shedeur Sanders with the 2nd or 3rd overall pick? Heck no. But ultimately, I think Cleveland and New York are tipping their hand with these moves, and even though I vehemently disagree with their decision, we shouldn't expect Shedeur Sanders to now get drafted in the top 3 picks. I'm Zach Gelb.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/sports. Ethos.com/sports.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Final segment of our show. We've got you for a few more minutes, leading you up to Brian Jeffries here at 5:50 with your pregame show. Arizona and Oklahoma State tonight here at High Corbett Field. First of a 3-game series. The 2 games on Friday and Saturday will be 6 o'clock start times, and then the 3-game set will wrap on Sunday afternoon with a 12 noon affair here between the Cowboys and the Wildcats. If you were not with us earlier, Arizona softball gets a win today in the opener of their series against the Kansas Jayhawks on the road. The ladies win it by a score of 2-0. Jenna Sniffen hit another home run for the Arizona Wildcats. And if you missed any of our press conference earlier with Desiree Reed-Francois, just head on over to our YouTube channel, Wildcats 1290, and you can roll that back to hear everything that the new women's basketball coach said earlier today. Time now for your Desert Diamond Casino replay, and it is brought to you by Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook. It is Arizona's best bet. You just heard from Toby DeMello, the hitting coach, one of the top hitters on the Arizona Wildcats team this year has been Adonis Guzman. He joined us earlier in the show and talked about his preparation process as he gets ready to go to the plate every night for the Wildcats.
Just doing the little things, weight room, taking that very serious on a day-to-day basis, stretching and doing the small things that may get overlooked and everybody knows you need to do, but just actually sitting down and doing them and taking care of business on that side, making sure my arm feels good, my body feels good, my legs especially, ankles. So, yeah, just doing all those small things that will help me stay on the field every day.
Adonis Guzman, if you missed that interview, you can find that too right now, WildcatsRadio1290.com, hitting .355 this season for your Arizona Wildcats out of that catcher's position. 4 home runs, 25